Hello, and welcome to chapter 48 of The Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind. This one so poetically called Hope. Why hope? Well, we'll get to that. First of all, the drink, because I don't want to forget it like last time. I'm having non alcoholic malt beverage. The weird thing is, it was sold to me as mojito flavored, but it's actually just lemon. I mean, not that I mind. I'm not the biggest fan of mint, but it's odd. But yeah, this week was basically I thought about naming this episode "Fucked Beyond Emotion Part 2" because that was it basically. But I don't want to do that. It's been a long time since I had a themed episode, meaning an episode which I'm talking about a theme, and I kind of want to do that. um, like I used to do with loneliness and relocation, depression, and all of that. But yeah, first of all, I'm recording this at a reasonable hour. It's 8:54 a.m., so it's not like in the middle of the night, which means I'm a little bit more chipper than usual. But yeah, what is hope? Well, in very straight terms, to me, it's knowing that there is something wrong, but keep going nonetheless. Now, I know that is also optimism, but for me, hope and optimism are kind of interchangeable. For example, the reason I'm doing this because I know a lot of people probably not going to listen to this, but I've met quite a lot of people online for dating reason because you need to know the insides of my love life, but um, more than my fair share, I can see that they are not really interested in me. They're probably curious about why I'm a director, or just they're swiping right on everybody, and I just happen to swipe right on them. Or I've met people and we've talked and I've been friend zoned instantly, saying like, no, no, I'm not looking for a date. I'm just looking for a friend. That's okay. I uh, I really don't mind it as much as other people. It's hurtful, but a good friend is something that I always cherish. So yeah, but the reason I mentioned it at all is, oh my god, my throat hurts. I don't know why. I ate an ice cream for breakfast. That might be the problem. So, uh, what's the connection with hope? I still go back to them. I still swipe right, and I still feel that maybe one day I'm going to find someone. Now, all the evidence is pointing to the contrary. Like, at this point, I should theoretically give up. The same is true for a lot of other things, but no, I keep going. I've mentioned this a little bit on a chapter from season 3, which is Persistence, chapter 32. I just looked it up. And but I think there is more than just persistent. I'm persistent in my job. I keep making this podcast. I keep making YouTube videos. I keep making um, short movies and attempts at making short movies. But that's persistent. That's not really hope. That is me doing what I know best uh, over and over until I can get better at it, and hopefully find some success. I think hope is when you are not sure of it. Persistent is when you are sure of it, but you just keep doing it because you know that at some point with persistence you will get some result. But for me, hope is when you are not sure of it. I'm a deeply insecure person, though I've talked with someone and oddly enough this week about insecurity, and they told me I'm not really insecure, I just lack confidence, and apparently they are different things. But anyways, I'm not a very confident person in myself. There are a lot of reasons. Physically, I don't think I'm very handsome. Um, uh, I don't know what do you call the quality of the voice. Like physically is for how you look. I don't know what do you call how you sound, but I don't sound very good, as is well apparent for all of you because you are all listening to me, so you know how I sound. And when it comes to presenting myself, not in the dirty way. I mean, sort of advertising myself, what I do, what I like, who I am, what are my interests, what are my passions. I'm not good at doing that. I'm not a very social person. There are a myriad of reasons for that for the most of my adult life and child life. I've been lonely because, again, too much information, but my parents had a divorce and I spent most of my time alone in my room. So I really didn't have an outlet in order to learn a lot of social skills. My father didn't taught me and my mother didn't taught me and I didn't teach myself. And the movies I saw taught it wrong. Um, I've said it before that being a lone wolf is one of the things that is really cool to watch. Like you watch it or you read about it, oh, a lone wolf, how cool. But in reality, I think most of them are miserable, and I don't want to be one of them. I've learned that my voice recorder, when I'm listening to it while I record, is heightening sound, but I don't know if you can hear that. That's the thing about um, recording in the morning. There is a street sweeper. I don't know what are they called. Yeah. So I'm not the most confident person in myself, and the reason is, as I said, I'm not a very social person, and a lot of that. But I keep putting myself out there just on sheer hope. I've tried to be better. I've tried to have more confidence. It worked in varying levels of degree. That made no sense. It worked in various degrees. And I mean, you can you tell it's hard for me to talk about that because I'm still in Iran. I hope to one day, as I said, apply to something outside of Iran and leave. And when I do, that episode is going to be bombastic because I don't have to fear a lot of things to talk about them. But um, as I said, the reason I keep putting myself out there is just sheer hope. I've tried to be more confident, but I can't really change a lot of the stuff about who I am. The reason is I'm not also confident about what I like. In simpler terms, I don't think what I like is very popular. I'm not into politics, which is a thing a lot of people want to talk about. I don't. I like musicals, which is a thing not a lot of people like to talk about, but I love to talk about them. And I love westerns, I love movies, I love all the video games. And I know there are communities for these things, but they are not in Iran. And I've never had the pleasure or displeasure of associating myself with such communities. So I feel kind of like an outcast. So when I go to talk to someone about my interest, like, oh yeah, and there is this musical that I love, Attend the Tale of Sweeney Todd, and it's like this, like that. Because I haven't found the community, my first thought is they're not going to enjoy me talking about this. Again, the lack of self confidence is apparent here. I don't know if you're enjoying me talking about this, but but you can't stop me, so I'm gonna talk, and basically it's my show. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But I in my head I'm thinking, oh, they don't want to hear me talk about this, so I lose a little bit of confidence every time that I mention something extremely nerdy or extremely deep cut, an extremely deep cut about one of my passions. Like, I don't know, when I talk about musicals, I feel like I don't want to hear, or I talk about westerns, I talk about Sergio Leone, and I think, oh, they don't want to hear me talk about this old Italian dude, so I lose a bit of confidence. So maybe I should have named this confidence. Too late. I'm gonna call it hope. But despite that, um, I try, even though I know I'm not good at it. I try, and that's because of hope. I feel like maybe someday I can find someone who is as awkward as I am, and they can understand why I'm like this, and I can understand why they are like that, and we can understand each other. Because that's the weirdest part. I've had a lot of friends, uh, and some of them are, I don't think, really understand me. And they see the outward look, which is this big, giant guy, loud guy who talks about movies a lot. And you're right. But also, there is a little bit more to me than that. But I don't think they understand. Because, holy shit, why did my phone. Okay, my phone, nobody ever has anything to say to me except like when I sit down to record. God damn it. And because there are things that I cannot express. I never learned how to express them. Again, I'm not a very social person, but on top of that, I'm not very good at relaying my emotions. If you go back and listen to some of the chapters about anger, you can see me trying to do that and failing miserably. I'm not very good at expressing myself. Artistically, I can. Thoughts and emotions, they can come out in my work pretty good. But on a human level, I don't think I can. And it's something that I really need to work on. God damn it. The weather is getting colder here, which is really good, but it means my seasonal allergies are coming back. Oh, by the way, and I can't believe I didn't mention this because it's kind of hard for me to believe, but we lost Norm MacDonald, and yeah, it's heartbreaking. He was a really funny guy. I really loved listening to him, and he had a really unique voice in comedy. And you see, I do want to talk. Let's bring it all back. But yeah, I do want to talk about him, but at the same time, there are not a lot of communities in Iran that I can say, yeah, let's discuss Norm MacDonald. For most of them, he's that guy from Adam Sandler movies, which is insulting. For the rest of them, they just like had one joke. But I keep talking about it because I have hope that maybe one day I find someone. One of the things I learned when I started university was that I need to put myself out there. And there's going to be a lot of heartbreaks, like disgustingly large heartbreaks. But I need to keep doing it. And I did, to again, various degrees of success. Yeah, I've talked about this quite a while, so I'm not going to mention it again. But when I went in as a hermit, and I slowly lost that shell. I can talk to people, by the way. Let's just say, I can talk to people. It's not like I get tongue-tied. It's just that I don't know how to keep talking. Like I can say, hey, how are you? What are you doing? And start a conversation, but I don't know how to keep going at it. At some point, it doesn't end in awkward silence and me saying, yeah, what else? So, yeah. And one of the reasons I did that, beside a certain someone that I was trying to get closer to, and I realized I can't do it with me being in my shell all of the time, was hope. I like hope. I think it's one of those important things that, uh, as of, okay, utilitarian, no, authoritarian. The, let me search it. I want to see how we can say authoritarian. Authoritarian. Just as I was searching it, authoritarian regimes try to destroy is hope, because the minute you lose hope, you've lost everything. And Iran is very good at it. Slowly chipping away at your hope, because you realize that, oh, my future is definitely fucked. I don't know what I'm doing, and I can't express myself in a lot of ways. So they're slowly chipping away at your hope. And I'd be lying if I say they didn't really manage to do it to some degree. I've lost a quite huge chunk of hope. But I just keep going because I think I need to. Hope is a requirement in order for you to keep living. You need to realize that what you're doing may not be good, but you need to keep doing it because you need to keep living, and you need to go on and do it, because ultimately you are not alone, and you will find people who are like you and who will like you. This got weirdly sappy, and again, I think it was incoherent, but it has a theme. Anyways, with less than a minute left, don't forget to send me a message on Anchor, and I will play your message at the beginning of the next episode. Follow me on your social media of choice, like, comment, subscribe, all of that bullshit, and share the podcast if you feel like it might help people. And you can contact me via email if you want. If you don't want to send a voice message, in contact AKHAMSEH88 @gmail.com. It's contact akamsa88 @gmail.com. And yeah, next this following week is gonna be a busy one, so I hope to see you all next week with a lot of stories to tell about how it all went.